In 2009, the first year of the new under-18 competition, the Roosters finished as low as they could go, at the bottom of the ladder with just 2 wins and a record number of points conceded, a record that still stands today. In 2010, they'd edged up to a 7th place finish as Heath Uni's game plan began to take shape. And in 2011, the under-18 team made the finals. It's an accomplishment of South Adelaide proportions. The South Adelaide League side, that is, not the under-18 side. We won't go there. Expectations were high, and Unley, the 2009 preliminary finalists, were aiming high. But after just 1 quarter of finals football in 2011, the Double Blues were looking decidedly shaky. Just 3 behinds to show for their endeavours, they trailed the Roosters by 3 goals. Any hopes of a second quarter resurgence on the back of an inspirational team talk were soon dashed when Michael Rager scored from a Sam De Leonardis hand pass. By the long break, the Sturt dream was in tatters and their season was seemingly over. They did manage to win the 3rd and 4th quarters, but not by nearly enough. A couple of free kicks to Henry Depoy gave Sturt some hope, and Jordan Lockwood's 24th minute goal finished off a 6-goal quarter. But the Double Blues were running out of quarters quicker than they were making up the gap. For the Roosters, Jordan Wilson was best on ground. One of Darwin's finest exports, Jordan played in the Northern Territory under-18 side this year. The 17-year-old has also been instrumental in Ross Trevor's success this year. In this match, Jordan notched up 19 kicks, 7 hand passes and 1 win. But he didn't do it alone, of course. He had a bit of help from Stuart Blair, who kicked 3 goals in this game to add to the 7 he put past Sturt in round 21. So North advances to the semi-finals while Sturt bows out for the season. North winners by 32 points. The only team to have won the SANFL Under-18s Premiership is Glenelg. Premiers in 2009 and 2010, the Tigers are hot favourites to play in the decider once again in 2011. But last Saturday at the Richmond Oval, the Redlegs had other ideas, and for a good deal of this match, those ideas were being realised. The Tigers got away to a strong start, almost 4 goals up midway through the first quarter, but then it was all red and blue up to quarter time. The initiative was with the Redlegs, and so was most of the offensive work, the gap just 7 points at the first break. The second quarter signalled the start of a goal drought with just 1 full pointer from either side. It was a battle of the defences, and the Tigers held strong through good work from Jackson McMahon and Jared Brayley. The first half was a tight struggle. The third quarter was a one-way street. The Redlegs put the pedal to the metal and won the quarter through the midfield. In a display of dominance, Norwood had pretty well all the possession, and the goals were flowing through Jack O'Leary and James Aish, who once again won best on ground, his 4th for the season. In fact, in every game James has played for Norwood this year, he's received best on ground votes. Another 38 disposals in this match. Are you watching, Fred? All Norwood had to do in the final quarter was maintain the momentum, but the Tigers aren't dual premiers for nothing. Coach Tim Lawrence read his lads the riot act at 3-quarter time, and the result was nothing less than inspiring. They moved as one, quicker, smarter and more efficient. The goals came easily and regularly through the double bill act of Hayes and Laurie. Billy Hayes and Billy Laurie scored 2 goals each in this match, and it was Billy Laurie's 24th minute goal that drew the scores level. From then on, it was a battle of inches. A point would do, a goal would have been nice, but Wade Hancock finally put the Tigers in front, and when Billy Hayes' effort was rushed across the line in the 28th minute, the siren was imminent. All that Redlegs hard work undone by a Tigers team that you write off at your own peril. The Tigers through to the second semi-final, the Redlegs forced to take the long road home, Glenelg by 2 points over Norwood. Fast forward a week and the North Adelaide Football Club was celebrating the success of Triple Magarey medalist James Allen. The Roosters under-18 team dare not hope for more glory. Having accounted for the Double Blues in the Elimination Final, the Redlegs were an entirely different matter. The informed team of the season charging home to a 3rd place finish on the ladder, they weren't about to roll over to a team that finished bottom just 2 years earlier. Well, they certainly didn't roll over, but after 1 quarter of the first semi-final, the Redlegs were down by 10 points. The unthinkable just 25 minutes earlier was looking a real possibility as the Roosters moved smoothly and fluidly down the corridor, feeding Joshua Simpson and Michael McMahon just enough to keep the scoreboard ticking over nicely. It would take a big second quarter effort to peg the Roosters back, and the Redlegs were up to the task. Patrick Kerrin and Nicholas Dinham put Norwood back on level terms, and at the long break there was nothing in this match. It was going to be a slog to the end. Joshua Simpson was the hero when the Ross Trevor veteran put through his third goal in the 24th minute. The Roosters were 3 goals to the good, with possibly the most important quarter of the season to date remaining. They would need to be stoic in defence and clean through the midfield, and there was no one better for the job than 17-year-old Josh Gregg from the Victorian Mallee town of Oyen, one of the last regions in Victoria to be settled because of the tough and defiant Mallee roots throughout the area. Fitting that North's number 29 is also tough and defiant. Joshua's 34 disposals included 6 incursions inside 50 and 15 out of 15 effective handballs. It was left to Sam De Leonardis to ice the cake with the last kick of the match, and against all the odds and all expectations, the Redlegs dropped out of the finals race. The Roosters through to their first ever preliminary final and a realistic shot at the premiership, winners over Norwood by 16 points. These two teams have been at each other's throats all season. Finishing the minor round level on points, the Magpies edged Glenelg out on percentage to finish minor premiers. But all that means nothing in a second semi-final. The winner, minor premier or not, will go straight through to the grand final, all too familiar territory for the Tigers. Tim Lawrence's young team had an agenda coming into this match and no one was going to get in their way. That was until Tom Durham got hold of the ball. We've featured this young man often this season. Poached from Broken Hill, where he's also a very handy medium-fast bowler, Matthew Webber has certainly had a good return on his investment in Tom. He only had 6 effective kicks for the entire game and 5 of them were goals. You can't really ask for more than that against the reigning premiers. At quarter time it was Port by 1 goal. A couple of goals in the second quarter to the round 2 MVP, Luke Wilson, kept the Magpies in front with 1 half of football left to claim that first grand final spot. The third term saw under-18 football as good as it gets in South Australia. Goal for goal, the lead rocked and rolled as first Glenelg found the big sticks through Nathan Stark and Chad Francis, and then Port replied through Kynan Betts with his first and only goal for the game. At the final break, the Magpies were still just ahead. All Matthew Webber required was more of the same, and when Tom Durham put them 16 points up in the first minute of the final quarter, the Magpies were already looking forward to October the 9th. But they forgot about the Tigers' agenda. In an extraordinary display of courage and determination, the Tigers kicked 7 unanswered goals in just 16 minutes. And it was quite possibly the finest 16 minutes of SANFL football you'll ever see. It was time for Matthew Scharenberg to shine. In his 7th game for the season, Matthew kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes. It was enough to seal Port's fate and steal that grand final berth from them. Port forced to take the long road through the preliminary final, Glenelg by 31 points at the Richmond Oval.